It's time for another collaborative podcast that no one asked for. From the creators of Cases of Continuity, No New Friends, and Big Beautiful Dis, get ready for Creators United. And now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan, Dane, and Scott.
Hey, howdy, hey, and welcome to episode 15 of Creators United, the show where creators from different podcasts come together and unite to bring you an entirely different show. My name is Mags. I am one of the hosts of Into the Disneyverse, the podcast that dives into the world of Disney past, present, and future. And I am joined today by Scott, the host of the No New Friends podcast, the podcast about adults who love to laugh at adulting, and Dane, the creator of A Big Beautiful Diz, the YouTube channel that dives into the past of theme parks. Dane, what is your favorite toothpaste flavor that's not mint?
Oh, that's not mint. Bubblegum.
There's only one right answer. Yeah,
Bubblegum.
there's only
bubblegum.
one right answer.
Mm-hmm. You ever
Scott.
tried the like cherry toothpaste?
No.
That's interesting.
No.
Interesting. Yeah. That's
And Scott, what's your
Yes,
favorite
sir.
shampoo brand?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, for those of you listening, I'm bald. It's anything that I can buy with the 3-in-1. To be honest with you, I think it's like Suave or Suave and what is it, Old Spice. They do a 3-in-1 where it's shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, because there's no point in me buying shampoo, but like I do need to like clean up here, and I do have hair here.
Mhm.
So that's my beard.
Do you use
Hair on my
shampoo
beard.
on your hair, on your beard?
Why not? It's hair.
Is that
Well,
normal?
okay, but
Do you normally use shampoo on
I have
beards?
no idea. I
I don't.
only grew out a beard once I went bald. So I've always used the 3-in-1 when I've had a beard. So
So you've only ever had hair in one place or the other, never both.
that is correct.
Why'd
And
you start growing out a beard? Did you just get lazy?
No, because I was going bald. And so when I decided to finally just start shaving the whole thing and embrace the baldness, I grew out the beard first. I think it was when I was self-conscious about it. And I would never shave the beard off because like I feel like, I don't know, bald people that don't have facial hair look weird to me.
Yeah,
and
Wow,
so, like,
you
a
just
little bit too
alienated
much.
all of
No,
our
they
bald
look a little
listeners who
too
don't
much
have a
like
beard.
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
I hate it when my dad shaves his beard. He looks weird.
Dr.
My
Evil or the
grandfather
head of
was
a
bald
penis.
without a beard.
Yeah, it just looks too strange.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. It's super frustrating because I can grow a full beard no problem in a matter of like a couple days. Just 8 inches north, nothing. I could grow out the sides. Like I could do that. Like, I don't know if I wanted to, I could do the Hulk Hogan look where I grow out the sides and then I'm bald on the top. It's super frustrating the way that like male hair and baldness works because I can grow hair on some of my head. The other part of my head, nothing.
Scott, do you really think that's 8 inches?
8 inches from here. I don't know what 6 inches. I've never measured from like here to my beard to my headline. I don't know.
Okay.
Have you
I'll get a
measured
ruler.
anything else on
I'll
your
report
body, or have you
back.
just never gotten the tape measure out at all?
I've never gotten the tape measure. The only part of my body that I've used with a tape measure. No, never mind.
Okay,
Anyway,
okay.
Oh, your nose.
My nose,
The
exactly.
nose when it grows, yeah, like
Yes.
Pinocchio when he
Yes.
dies.
I see. Well, speaking of Pinocchio,
I have actually. Has anybody ever measured their? Never mind. Let's move on.
Chat, let us know. Let us know.
well,
I
speaking
was curious
of
one day. I wanted to know about the shoe size and that, like, how I wanted to know if that, like, urban legend of the shoe size matching the size of, the man part, if that was accurate.
What's your shoe size?
I don't want to tell you.
Was it accurate?
It was.
Okay, so what's the shoe size then? 11?
23 and a half.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Scott here brought up urban legends. I'd like to talk about urban city centers. I would love, for my question of the week this week, I would love to know each of y'all top 3 cities that you've traveled to.
Oh, Manhattan,
That's not a city.
New York City,
Yep, that's a good one.
Sorry, Manhattan is a borough of New York
Yeah.
City. It's so complicated.
But more
up north.
specific, New York City, but more specifically, the borough of Manhattan.
So like the good part of New York City.
Yes. Although I like Queens. Queens is nice, Rockaway Beach. But for me, it's very easy. New York City, Anaheim, Los Angeles.
Mm.
Even though I haven't like really done sightseeing in those areas, I went to the theme parks in those areas, so that was cool. I do like it. It's not a city, but I do like Washington D.C. I think that's a pretty cool.
Ooh, that is a city.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that would count.
Yeah.
That would count.
Ryan,
yeah.
geography was not my best subject in school.
Oh,
okay?
really? I
I'm
didn't
more of a
know
U.S.
based
history
on
guy.
the whole Morocco being in Africa thing and Egypt being in Africa.
Ryan, that blew my mind when I found out that Egypt was in Africa. I thought Egypt was just in the Middle East,
No.
and I was like, it's Asia, maybe. I don't know. It blew my mind that it was in the continent of Africa.
He didn't
still-
think that Africa was in the World Showcase. He was like, I thought that country was
It is in the World
canceled for
Showcase. It's the little
for the
outpost.
showcase.
Outpost.
That's Africa.
I do
also
yeah, Morocco as well.
Morocco is also in there.
I do still want to make Photoshop movie posters in honor of the slightly over 1 year anniversary of that Remy's Roundtable episode. With the three that I really want is Scott finding out that Egypt is in Africa as like Remy steals the treasure or whatever. I want one of Scott with Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz, and then I want one with Chris, with everybody's favorite gangster, Papa John.
Yes, that was the Great Movie Ride episode of Remy's Roundtable.
I thought you were going to say
was.
Brain Explosion would be
That is still my favorite episode of Remy's Roundtable.
Yes, agreed. I did like the 4-year anniversary show though.
The 4-year was good,
pretty
but
fun.
dude,
That
the
is a
Great Movie
top
Ride,
one
I
as
think
well.
the Great Movie Ride episode. That or the what's that called? It's called I think it's called Remy and his Sax. It was the one where the $1 million
from
question.
That was that technically Diz Journey?
Yeah, because it's the one that the $1 million question comes from.
Right, now, Dane Xander, what is your top 3 favorite cities you've been to?
Does Philadelphia count for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, does
Good
Orlando
city.
count for me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. So number 1, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Orlando.
Baltimore, interesting. I've
Yeah,
never been to
that's an
Baltimore.
interesting one.
Baltimore
That's a bold choice from what I've heard.
Pre
Crime?
Inner Harbor crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bad Inner Harbor crime.
That's
because
fair. I've
recently
heard
it's been
it's
way worse
concerning.
than it has before.
I forgot
Mhm.
St. Augustine.
Ooh,
That's
Remy, every time I talk about we'll talk about
Tampa's
this
really
later
good
in the
too.
episode.
Tampa's a good
Remy and Jen always tell me I need to get to St. Augustine at some point because like they know that I love history and they're like, Ryan, you need to get there.
Ryan, you would absolutely love it. It's so much Florida history, and it's so like Spanish influenced in the architecture, and it's such a neat city. And I'm blessed. I live in Florida, so
Hashtag blessed.
every fourth grader's field trip in the state of Florida is to go to St. Augustine. And it's such a cool field trip. God, I love that. And then I've been there. I was there with my family when I was like in middle school or whatever. Thanksgiving weekend, we stayed in this little bed and breakfast, the Monterey Inn. And it was so neat because, you get on the trolley and it takes you to the different sites and you have this little ticket book and you go see the first school and the first this and the first that. And then at night, you have the ghost tours, and the ghost tours in St. Augustine are really badass.
St. Augustine ghost tours? Picture it.
And if you want to go on a
2021.
ghost tour, if you want to go on a ghost tour in St. Augustine, just visit
Do you have that sponsorship still?
theamericatours.net. Anytime I tell him to activate the code, he will. Because it's not costing us anything. Seeamericatours.net and go to
/964 lowercase g capital HINLUW96.
Okay.
Backslash. That HTML.
Ryan, where are your favorite cities to travel to?
Oh yeah, click on Night Watchman Ghost Tour.
Number 1 for me, we already talked about. It's got to be Boston. It's been a while since I've been like downtown Boston, but I was recently at the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum, which is located on Boston Harbor. Incredible view. You go in to the museum, and there is this huge American flag, and then there's this wall of glass overlooking Boston Harbor, and you can see downtown Boston across the way. Incredible.
You know who else
Love Boston.
recently just traveled to Boston?
Ooh,
He's actually there right now.
who's that?
Mr. Larry O'Brien himself. You don't know what
I
that
hate
is.
you.
It's the
I
NBA
hate
trophy.
you.
It's the
I
NBA
hate
trophy because
you.
the Boston Celtics won the NBA finals.
Shut
Yeah, the Orlando Magic.
up.
18
My number
championships.
2 has got to be Chicago. I love Chicago. So much to do there. Great food scene.
Mhm.
I adore Chicago. I was there at St. Patrick's Day, so the river was green, which was super funny.
Oh, that's cool.
I adore Chicago.
My pool is green, but that's because my wife hasn't cleaned it yet.
They're a good band too. Chicago.
This is true.
It's a good,
They're the inspiration for a lot.
Good Broadway show as well.
Mm.
Oh my God, I love that. And Best Picture winner from
Well,
2002. I've listened to the soundtrack of Chicago in Chicago. I watched the Philadelphia Story in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's
Listened
cool.
to Meet Me in St. Louis in St. Louis.
I love that for you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I listened to Oklahoma soundtrack in Oklahoma.
Mm.
I
Was it a
got
beautiful
obsessed with
morning?
those crazy. What?
You know what's funny?
Was it a beautiful morning?
It was a beautiful morning.
It was a beautiful day at that
It
too.
always has to be
What's funny, Ryan? Chicago, the Broadway show is garbage. The movie is fantastic.
Oh my God, I love the movie so much.
The stage show was. I was so let down.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I do love the movie. I'm gonna go through some honorable mentions before I get to my number 3 choice. So really quickly, want to give shout outs to Philadelphia. I adore Philadelphia. I really, really like Nashville. I really, really like Detroit. Detroit's insanely underrated. Headed back there for a Red Sox Tigers game in a few weeks, so that'll be super fun. $8 tickets, good time.
I like to
that's
live
really
on the edge
good.
of safety.
That's really good.
No, Detroit gets a much worse reputation than it deserves. St. Louis is worse, but I do like St. Louis. I also like Kansas City, and I like Phoenix, Arizona a lot. Phoenix, Arizona is super fun. But my Dallas, Texas is also really cool. And Oklahoma City, underrated. Oklahoma City. Walking around there in the morning was really, really cool. Walking by the canal that they've got that goes through the city. But my number 3 has to be San Antonio, Texas. Incredible, especially on the Riverwalk. I adore San Antonio.
I've seen
Plus the
pictures of
Alamo.
the Riverwalk. Dude, it looks so cool. I want to go there.
It's insanely cool. You would absolutely love it. The nightlife there. Oh my God. And the food. I got to get back to San Antonio at some point. And one of the reasons that I want to get back to San Antonio is because, as well as a lot of reasons, didn't get to spend a ton of time in there. They've got this really cool National Historic Park that is just south of it that preserves a whole bunch of missions. It's called San Antonio Missions National Historic Park. And I really wanted to explore all of those, and I didn't get the chance to. So I'd love to get back there. I've become very obsessed with the national parks recently.
Have you ever visited the basement in the Alamo?
No.
Supposedly there's a very famous bicycle in the basement of the Alamo.
I don't think they
Isn't
had
there
bicycles
bodies in the Alamo
back
too,
then.
in the basement?
What, Ryan?
I don't think they had bicycles back when the Mexican-American War was going on.
Well, the problem is they don't have basements in the Alamo either.
Okay.
Have you never seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No.
Oh my God. Pee-wee Herman, he gets his bike stolen, and a psychic says it's in the basement of the Alamo. So he goes all the way to Texas to find his bicycle. Come to find out, he goes on the whole tour, and he goes, "Excuse me, I can't do Pee-wee Herman anymore."
Paul Rubin.
Yeah, but he's like, he's like, when are we going to see the basement? And they start laughing. There is no basement in the Alamo.
Oh,
sorry.
I guess that explains why I haven't seen it.
Best jokes are the ones you have to explain.
Yep.
I've seen the Davy Crockett movie with the Alamo. That's a good one from Disney. But the national parks. I was never much of an outdoorsy guy, right? I got the Eagle Scout rank, but it took a lot for me to get through all 20 nights of camping. And then back in February, I went an hour south because I want something to do on a Sunday.
Are you going to run for president one day?
It's funny you mentioned that. Somebody asked me that in at work on Friday.
Because I feel like only people that are going to run for president one day become an Eagle Scout.
Oh. I don't know. It's not even the Boy Scouts anymore. It's Scouting America. So I don't know what's going on with that organization. My state has 8 different national park sites, and I went to the Hopewell Culture, the Native American mounds, and I was like, this is really cool. Kind of want to get to all the others. And so for $33, I bought the passport to get all the stamps. Let me go get this passport because it's kind of cool, in my opinion. And so now I'm collecting.
So you
not
about to
just the
show us his
passport
U.S.
stamps.
passport? Steal all of his information.
Yeah.
No,
someone
I've
get a
got all of
screenshot
the
this.
brochures. I think I'm up to 26 or 27 stamps. There's 429 national park sites in the United States. And I've gone to all of them in my home state of Ohio. There's some really, really cool ones. Like I saw the Wright brothers plane. I was in like an island in the middle of Lake Erie. A lot of cool things. I went through New York, almost passed out in a presidential house. That's a whole situation there. I got lost a bunch of times in the middle of Cuyahoga Valley National Park. I kind of want to go to West Virginia to check out there are like 3 national parks near each other next week. And I was like, this is really cool. And then I found out, wait for it, there are sites that the National Park System doesn't own, but they coordinate different national heritage sites. And so you can collect even more passport stamps.
Oh,
so
my God.
there's like thousands of passport stamps in the United States of America. And so today I was exploring the National Aviation Heritage area. And so I end up in these random museums, middle of nowhere. No one else is there. They're so excited somebody showed up. And then I ask, like, hey, do you have the stamp here? And no one shows up. No one ever asks for the stamp. And so they have to spend like 5 minutes looking for the stamp, like what happened to me in Motor City's National Heritage Area last week. And then they finally find it, and I get super hyped. I ended up driving 5 hours one way west into Indiana, on the border of Indiana and Illinois.
Ooh.
And this was literally just one building about the Lewis and Clark Expedition Clark's brother. So I'm a little bit obsessed with the national park system. We can say
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Where did you almost
pass out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild one. So this was in New York. I ended up in Eastern New York. I kind of gotten around a bit. So I go to the Martin Van Buren site, and the visitor center is not a building. It's a portable, like one of those portable buildings.
Was the Martin Van Buren site just a little bit too intense for you?
A little bit. It was very hot that day.
Was this pass out due to heat or
it was kind of due to heat. It was very hot.
I think he was just so excited to see Martin Van Buren's bone. It's bones.
Gosh. It was very hot.
Excited
that day.
to see the center of Martin Van Buren.
I ended up getting a ticket for a tour, and then I look up where he's buried, and I'm like, oh, he's buried a 10-minute drive from here. I can get there and back, check out the grave before the tour. So I drive there, and Google Maps tell me, all right, go this road straight ahead, and it says road closed. There's construction. And so I try to find this detour, and eventually I finally get around it like 20 minutes later. And it turns out the road is closed right where the grave is. So I park on the side of the road, and it's like a 15-minute walk from where I'm parked to where the grave is. And I'm like, shoot, I don't have time. So I sprint as fast as I can to the grave site. I take a photo, then I sprint back, and then I drive back to the site where the house is. And I see the tour group is right in front of the house. So I park, I run out, like I'm sprinting across this field to the house. And I finally managed to get in as they're closing the door. got very lucky. And then I realized this is an old house. There's no AC in this house. And I have just sprinted a lot in this heat. And I was like, okay, I'm getting kind of dizzy in this house. And the tour was going on for like 45 minutes to an hour. And there was like a historic chair in front of me. And I was like, I kind of need to brace myself, but they're going to yell at me if I touch this artifact. So maybe I shouldn't. So I champed my way through it. And I go to the visitor center, and it's a portable, so they don't have water fountains there. So I go into the bathroom that they've got there, and I'm there cupping my hands under the sink trying to get water. And all of this while I still have to get an hour south, like in an hour, to get to my next national park site, the home of Franklin D. Roosevelt. So it's quite an experience.
Yeah.
I could just see you sprinting to take a picture of a tombstone of a dead president.
Yes. with my whole bag too, like across my chest, like the satchel.
Why didn't you leave that in the car?
Because it has my wallet and my EpiPen.
You have a sat. Are you
So put your
carrying
EpiPen in your
newspapers?
wallet
Did you
in
have
your
to tell them the
pocket.
British was coming?
That,
Like
that would have been pretty
did
smart,
you
but I
have?
wasn't thinking. The only thing on my mind was Martin V. So
I want to
And
know, what do you
the-
have in your satchel? Like, what do you keep in there?
I've got.
Like
do we want to
essential
do
items kind of thing?
Do we want to do an unbagging
Do you
reveal right
have
now?
the
I've got it
satchel
right. I
right
have
now?
it
Like,
right here.
Is he gonna
It's
open it
very
up and tell
convenient.
you
Oh
like
my
the
God.
kingdom of
I
Corona's crown
understand
in
why
there?
women have purses. Okay, it's very
I
convenient.
understand why you haven't gotten laid yet.
Screw you. Okay, I leave it in the car when I go on dates. So it's not much. It's my wallet.
He's got your whip and
You know,
hat
unlike
in
some of
there,
you guys,
too.
you don't know what it's like to have a huge wallet in your pocket.
Yeah, he's got a diary trying to find the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is an actual serious one. Like, it's very convenient to have it because of my EpiPen. Doesn't fit in a pocket super well. So it's convenient place to carry it. I've got crayons.
Got the crystal skull in there.
Crayons for rubbings.
That is actually 100% the reason why. Because I found another passport. So the Ohio History Connection has a passport, but there's not stamps at every location. So I ended up an hour further west than I was going to be from the Neil Armstrong Museum today. And it was just one stone that was there. And it was like, you can do a rubbing of the stone. No one else is there.
You can rub
Clearly,
the
the grass hasn't been mowed in a couple of years. And I'm running through this field to get a rubbing of the stone there. So that's why I've got the crayons. I like to
Of
travel.
course. He also has a squeeze bottle just in case he needs to activate anything with water, you know.
You should keep a you
I've
should
got
keep a
a
water
crossword.
bottle in there. That would actually be a really good idea.
Crossword puzzle. I've
Crossword
got some
puzzle,
coins.
smart.
I used to have more coins, and then they were kind of weighing it down. So now I've
Just
got the
in
coins
case-
separate. I have a
Just in
Ziploc
case he
bag just
finds
full of
himself in a
coins my
time
room.
machine. He's got coins from different time periods, you know, Aztec America.
Yeah.
I actually do have a plastic bag with those as well, but that's a different plastic bag than the one I took those out.
Yeah, just in case he gets lost and crosses the border from Texas to Mexico, he's got some pesos.
I dislike how
He's
many
got different
Canadian
countries
coins I
coming.
have in my bag. I've got too many
All kinds of
Canadian
currency.
coins.
Oh, everybody's got too many Canadian coins.
This is This is true. And there's actually a picture of me on one of them. It was a loon. So
I'm the tune.
what?
They're loonies and toonies.
Okay.
That's the Canadian currency is loonies and toonies.
I've never heard of the toonies. I only know the loon.
Yeah, the loonies and the toonies.
I think you're confusing it with something else, Scott.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, basically a lot of the national parks that have seasonal stuff are about to close down after Labor Day. So it's kind of this final sprint right now to how many can I get to.
The toonie is a coin. It's got a bear on it. It's a $2 piece.
What's your favorite national park you've been to?
It's a great question. There's a lot to choose from. I'm trying to actually look at my brochures because honestly, I would probably have to go with Perry's Victory International Peace. So it is, I think it's the second to last one I went to out of the 8 in Ohio. And it's on an island in the middle of Lake Erie. So you take a ferry out to the island. You go up there. They've got an elevator that takes you up. And you get this incredible view of Lake Erie. You can see parts of Detroit from there. You can see parts of Cleveland. The lake is all in front of you. And then they've got a little museum about what it commemorates. This ocean victory, this lake victory, I guess, in the War of 1812. Very cool place.
Scott, what's your favorite president?
Oh yeah, what's your favorite president?
You have one?
Yeah, because
we did president.
You weren't here for President's Day.
I don't. And if I guess if I did, it would be for weird reasons. I love JFK just for all of the content that's been built around the whole JFK conspiracy. I love
because he got shot.
Well, I guess because he got shot, but you know, there's been so many. Quantum Leap used to be one of my favorite shows, and I love the episode when he leaps into Lee Harvey Oswald, and
that came across sounding weird.
What?
Well, Quantum Leap. Okay, hold on.
Wait, you need to explain immediately.
Quantum Leap was starring Scott Bakula, Dean Stockwell. So Scott Bakula played Sam Beckett, and he would
like Samuel Beckett, like
that was his
Samuel
name.
Beckett.
His character's name was Samuel Beckett.
Okay, not like the famous episode.
What?
I said this is a 2-part episode. This is
it was like the season finale. they designed this like time traveling system that he would leap and pretty much become a person. He would have to change things to save someone's life. Leaps into Lee Harvey Oswald. He's like, this is easy. I'm just not going to shoot the president. Like, this is simple.
Yeah.
But as the episode goes on, because he's time traveling so much, like his brain kind of gets into like cottage cheese. So he starts believing that he's Lee Harvey Oswald. And this has never happened before. Because he's time traveling so much, he doesn't remember things. And Al tells him at the end, he's like, well, you don't remember this because of all the time travel, but you actually did change the past because originally Jackie died also. But anyway,
I will say, Scott, if you're
They
interested
should do
in
one
JFK,
on the Trump assassination.
I highly recommend going to Dallas, Texas. When I was there, I took a tour
back in 1963. I don't think
no, of the JFK. So
where is this gonna go?
And they have an X on the ground where he was shot.
No,
like in the middle of the road. In the middle of the road.
No, I need to look this up.
Yeah,
no way.
Look it up. They've got multiple ones showing when the shots were, where the car was when the shots were fired. And then they have a museum of the Dallas Book Depository.
Got an X marks the spot.
And so they literally do.
Map. Oh my God, they do.
Kennedy is my favorite just because of all the conspiracies and then just different storylines.
That's straight up JFK.
Wow, that's
oh my
crazy.
God.
And it has 4.5 stars. Who the heck is giving an X on
Who's
the ground?
rating?
Less than 5 stars.
Wow.
Can we let's look at some reviews.
I'm gonna read these reviews.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Somebody says, gave it 1 star and said, in a word, underwhelming.
Wow, this is crazy. Like, I'm watching, there's a video of just cars just driving over the X.
Yeah.
There's there's 2
I'm gonna
lines
go there
on the ground where the car would have been.
I'm gonna Oh my God, that's
oh no,
insane.
those are just street lines.
And speaking of presidential assassination sites, so Ford's Theater, where of course Abe Lincoln was killed, is a national park site.
We do a whole episode on
presidential assassinations.
Assassination
well, here's the thing: 2 other presidential assassinations, Garfield and McKinley. Garfield was at a train station in Washington, D.C. Whenever I go to D.C., I'm going to try to get to that train station because I don't know how it's preserved. McKinley was killed in Buffalo, and I haven't gotten to really explore Buffalo yet. I'm hoping to do that at some point this fall. Get up to Buffalo and camp for a night and explore the area. But from everything I've heard, the McKinley assassination site is marked by a stone. Is it a rock that's there from what I heard?
That is
people clearly don't care about McKinley.
I wanted to ask you guys, what is it like to live with a content creator?
I know what you're doing. I can see
wait
your
a minute.
screen
Wait
on
a
the
minute.
screen.
Wait a minute.
I see what you're about to do.
Well, maybe
I know he's going to be here, so he could just come over here and use my microphone.
There we go.
There we go.
I was going to say maybe Todd Wolfson's available if we need someone to fill in.
Maybe.
Here's the funny thing is I asked Darren, I was like, hey, I'm about to do Creators United. Do you want to come on with me tonight?
No.
Because I don't know what we're talking about, but
he has other plans.
You want to join me? And he's like, no, but I'll watch. Just send me the link. I'm like, all right.
All right. So Darren, I have a question for you.
This should be awful.
All right.
What is it like living with a content creator?
I wouldn't call him a content creator.
All right. What's it like living with a creator of both you and something on the internet?
It's great at some points, and then at some points when he's dragging me around Disney, it's like, get me a beer. It's like me dying of heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Did you almost pass out?
No, sometimes.
Okay, I understand the feeling.
There's been some behind the scenes where Lewis has had to carry me around because I'm just passed out.
No.
Yeah, and he doesn't let you eat, right? Or is that just Lewis?
No, he doesn't feed me either.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You feed yourself. He goes, he veers off. That's the thing. That's the thing that the stories that you don't hear.
Darren, do you have annual pass?
I do have an annual pass.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say at least you don't have to at least he isn't forcing you to pay for your own ticket.
Here's the thing.
Kind of, but not really.
At any point, any one of them can eat. All they have to do is just go and get one of those grab and go carryable meals, like the meals that you carry.
Portable.
Like,
I think
the
word
quick
is
service.
portable.
Portable quick service stuff. You mean
portable quick service stuff. You know, the Ronto wraps is always
Yeah.
good because you can get it and go. But we got to sit down and eat. No,
Yeah.
like we have
because
stuff
it's
to
not
do.
McDonald's, man. It's
I
not.
mean, it
you
could be
can't bring
really
that into
interesting to
you can't
sit
bring
down
food
and
into
eat.
the
Like,
queue. You
the
can't bring food
restaurants
into
are
the queue,
very-
and you always want to go in the queue. So maybe that's why they can't do that, huh?
The restaurants are very well themed. People on the live stream might be interested in seeing what the ordering process looks like, what
Yeah,
kind of foods are on the
100%.
menu, what the decorations and the theming of the restaurants like.
Ryan, the second I go into a gift shop, views drop by about 90%. So
Well, that's because the
try-
connection also drops. So.
Well, stop. But you're not wrong. But listen, they could eat at any time. That's why it's important that there's 4 of us, so that at any given point, if anybody needs to go to the restroom or needs to eat, there's still 2 other people that can be working the stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say the trick is when he's getting a beer at a bar that also sometimes has food, you get food then.
Darren's smart. Darren does it right. Darren will get himself a pretzel. He knows how to do this. It's Lewis and Sarah that still haven't figured it out yet.
Well, thanks, Darren. Thanks for coming on.
You made him sit in the waiting room for an hour for what, 30 seconds? Jesus.
No.
That's
Darren,
like the same thing that I had to go through when creating him. I did an hour's worth of work for 30
Well,
seconds.
I have a
Didn't
question.
last an hour. There's no way.
Can we
No,
get
an hour's
Darren's mom
worth
on
of
here
work.
and
I had to
really
wine
ask
and
her
dine your
question,
mom.
what it's
and
like to live with the creator.
Well, actually, I have a question for Darren while he's on the call. So Darren, obviously your father is not he's a little bit challenged in the way of hair. Are you concerned that that's going to be your future?
Oh,
that's a good
it's
question.
a concern. Yeah, it's a concern. Let's
subject.
change the subject. No, it's a concern. There's a reason why I don't really do streams without a hat. I already got that receding hairline, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Is there anything else you're scared about
At least
that
you
you're
have
gonna
a hairline.
Is there anything else you're scared you're going to inherit from your father, whether it's like just physically or personality wise, or anything that you want to inherit from him? Anything that you'd be proud to inherit from him?
Oh, I was gonna say his money, but he doesn't have any of that.
He doesn't have any money.
Rachel's money, I should say.
He's got a lot. Like I joke a lot, but he's got like the things that he's passionate about. He's super passionate about, and I wish, or like one day, I hope that I can be as passionate about something as he can be.
I'm passionate about Bud Light.
Trying to be sweet, and then you ruin the moment. So.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? The money joke that you guys make about, oh, it's Rachel's money, blah, blah, blah. He actually at one point got mad about that bit. Because, well, he goes, I don't remember how he worded it, but it like frustrated him or hurt him a little bit because he knows how successful I've been. And he's like, and you downplay that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's the bit. I'm okay with that. Like it's the bit. I don't know why I brought that up, but
I mean, it's true. Like
nice
I
to
do
me sometimes.
Like we do play a lot into it's Rachel's money. Like he doesn't do anything. He works middle management job, but he like
obviously
entry level management.
entry man. Yeah. But I've seen him in a way worse place. So sometimes I get a little
and that's fair.
Frustrated about
that's
that.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the thing is you know where we came from and you know the struggles that we went through. And like I've like talked about it a little bit on different podcasts, but I've never like really gotten into it. But yeah, I think that's the frustrating thing for him is he knows where we were versus where we are now. And Rachel was a big part of that, but a lot of it I did myself as well.
Yeah, he pays for the cleaning service himself. Rachel doesn't pay for that.
That's
Darren,
true.
let me ask you this: when was the first episode? What was the first episode at NNF you listened to?
And
when?
That's a great question. So I think I was on an episode before I even started listening. Which is very silly. Like I didn't listen to when it was just 2 creators on it. He had me on episode, what was it, like 15?
Oh yeah,
it was episode 20, winning a Tony.
Yes,
yeah.
I forgot you were on. I was like, wait a second, when did you? I forgot you were on episode 20. Yeah.
And then after Chris got added is probably when I started listening. Not right away when Chris came on. I would say it was probably a month or two after Chris being on.
Was it that soon?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was much later. I didn't think you started listening until I added Sarah.
No, I listened before Sarah.
Okay.
I think I wasn't as religious.
That's right. Yeah, because you've been. Yeah. I remember now because I remember telling Chris, I was like, "Well, Darren said this, or Darren didn't like this, or yeah. You're right."
And Darren,
Mhm.
the question that I originally asked you was, what's it like living with a content creator? But he I've seen this happen where we'll be recording. Somebody comes in to say goodnight or something. He gets very visibly angry. And making noise during the recording and stuff like that. His sweet daughter comes in, wants her dad, dad's hug, say goodnight.
Mad.
Such a sweet moment. And then she closes the door. He starts bitching and complaining.
Yeah,
so
correct.
What is it like when you come home after a long day of work and it's a Wednesday, maybe? If you do work on a Wednesday and it's a Wednesday or something or a day that he's recording something and you have to be dead silent throughout the whole house. What's that like?
Oh, it's awful. Oh, he's got noise monitors everywhere. He's constantly listening. If we go over a certain decibel, it comes to us and he writes us
a decibel reader.
He writes us a fine. Abby fights that fine every time. I don't know how she gets out of it. But I owe him $400 for whispering last Wednesday.
How much do you owe for fines for the live streams, stuff you do that that pisses them off during the live streams? How much do you owe him there?
Oh, nothing. It makes content.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, Darren does a really good job. The only thing that he does that really pisses me off.
I've stopped. Please.
It drives me nuts when I have to pee. And and I'm like, okay, Darren, please grab you're in charge of the gimbal.
Whoa. Please hold the gimbal instead of saying I have to pee, and say, please, Darren.
I have to go to the restroom. Darren, please hold the gimbal. Okay.
There we go. Okay. That's more like it.
And that's my cell phone. Okay. That's my cell phone that he's using. Yeah. And I'll come out of the restroom and he's gone. And it's a busy day. And I'm searching everywhere because I see him walking one way and I time, okay, how long was I in the bathroom? How far could he have gotten? And so I have a good idea of where he could be and he's nowhere to be found.
Why don't you just look up on the stream where he is?
Because he has my phone. So I end up having to bring my work phone with me.
Bags.
Just so I can, just so I can find him and where he's at. What were you thinking that I was mad at?
Well, before I go to that, there was one time him, Lewis, and Sarah left me to go smoke or do whatever they were doing. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the other park because we were at Islands of Adventure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I completely ditched them, brought the gimbal with me and everything.
That's true. Yeah, we went to he just kept going. He just went to the other park.
Yeah, just completely left him.
That is funny.
No,
why don't you just bring the gimbal into the bathroom with you?
He's usually at least 3 Bud Lights in.
You don't have to.
Hey, you can stream while you're streaming.
Yeah, but why would I pause the stream anyway? What were you gonna say that you did that made me mad?
I thought you were going to bring up the fact that I say to dislike the stream.
I fucking hate that. Okay. I laid into him when we were going to California and we were talking, because I think that's the most annoying thing that I do is not necessarily what I do when we are creating content, but that I don't have anything else to talk about except for creating content. So I'm always talking to him about, I've got this idea. What do you think? Oh, I should do this. What should we? So we're always talking about it. And I laid into him. I was like, dude, I said, it's really fucking pissing me off when you keep saying, give a thumbs down or give a 1-star review, because I said, you don't understand our listeners. They'll do it. They'll do it just to fuck with me. So
I did understand that. And that's what was funny about it.
No, it makes me, because I'm serious about it. It really hurts you. 1 star. Like, it drives me nuts when Chris says it on Disneyverse. Oh, leave it as a force. No, it hurts you when that happens.
Well, he
That's
doesn't say
not
that
good.
anymore.
Good. No, now you guys just wait 15 minutes to introduce a host or a guest.
Whoa, don't give that a collective we. It depends on who's hosting.
That's true.
Darren, last question before we end this segment.
The segment or this episode?
The segment.
This is the longest episode ever.
Well, it's because we got on here
It's
at
like an
like
episode of
6:30.
Remy's Roundtable, early edition.
Yeah,
we got on
I
here at
have
like
a
6,
question.
so it feels like.
I have a question for Darren.
We've only been
Yeah.
recording for an hour.
Yeah. Why does your father look like he's dressed like Lee Harvey Oswald, like the white shirt? And...
It's actually
just
not a
how he
white shirt.
always-
It's a blue shirt with the castle and the partner statue on it.
Yeah, that's what Lee Harvey Oswald was wearing.
That's what
Still
Lee
remember?
Harvey Oswald wore on the day he did it.
Imagine he was being arrested.
He,
had
he
the
wore
Disney
a
castle on
50th.
his
He, hold on. He wore a 50th anniversary Disney
Well,
shirt.
because he's a time traveler.
No, he's just a Disney adult derogatory.
Yeah. When are we getting Darren.com podcast?
When Mr. Scott decides that he wants to expand the podcast brand.
You can do a spinoff whenever you want, especially. So we're going to be going through this name change where it's going to be, Parents Night Out with No New Friends, or Parents Night Out presented by No New Friends, and then it's going to be No New Friends at the Parks, or At the Parks with No New Friends. So like, there's opportunities for some spinoffs. Like Lewis and I are starting to talk about a potential spinoff where, and we're in the very infant stage of talking about it, but it would be similar to his content at Nerd Archive, because that's not something that I get to do a whole lot, is like the nerd content. So like, what if we do this with NNF? Darren.com, there's so many possibilities to create different entities within the No New Friends brand.
Mhm.
And that's the idea, is to be able to still keep the No New Friends entertainment brand and to have all these sub things of the No New Friends entertainment brand.
Yeah.
So he can do it anytime he wants. He's got the equipment. He can use my editor, whatever.
We'll see. Gotta find what
You and Chris could do a
His-
wrestling podcast.
That would,
Yeah,
that would be
we
cool.
would have to find like our gimmick and find like what would make us different
Yeah.
than everything else. Like there's such a flood of podcasts right now from like just the content that I get, like especially wrestling podcasts as well. There's just so much content, and I don't want to get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna put my effort into a podcast, I got to make sure it's gonna stand out enough to, be semi-successful, or at least pretend it's semi-successful.
Well, you'd already have an audience of how many? I think NNF has 15, so you'd have 15 listeners right off the bat, without doing any work.
Darren, if this will never happen, but hypothetically, if your dad would ask you to become a host on NNF, would you say yes?
Yeah, I would say yes. I consider myself, and I think he considers me, like a part-time host. The moment that somebody's unavailable, I'm the first phone call.
I know you two are
first
very
text.
close. You're like a son to him, so
Yeah,
I
not-
figured that he
He's
would.
like the son I
ask
never
you.
had.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Ooh.
he's essentially the part-time host. Fills
Do you get
in.
part-time pay too, or no?
I didn't even know that the regular hosts get paid. So
They don't.
No, they don't. Yeah, surely they don't. Ryan, you don't get paid, right? RJ, you don't get paid, right?
No, I wish I did.
Okay, I was just making sure. That
No,
could have been
we've
awkward
got-
if you would have said yeah.
No, I think you can check Patreon, because all this is visible on there. I think we have like 40 Patreons, but no, I don't get paid.
Darren, does he also make you pay rent?
uh,
Because for me, he doesn't. I was just wondering what the sun. I was wondering what the sun discount is if he makes you.
It's a discount.
Okay, I thought so.
Discount, yeah.
Just wanted to make sure because he doesn't. I'm just in the basement hanging out here, so I was just wondering.
you're in the basement. Chris is in the attic.
It's the
Dane, is
first
this
one.
the second tier list you and I have done?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done a tier list on here though.
Not definitely not
Private-
recorded.
But
Very
yeah,
much
there was
privately, yeah.
privately, yeah.
It was
So
very
this
much
is the
private one,
album
yeah.
cover for Wish You Were Here. It's the man on fire shaking the hand with the other guy on the
Is that Trump on the right?
Warner Brother.
No, that's
lot.
fire. That's not. I thought that was Trump's hair.
No. It's close though.
Okay, so what are the rankings? It's S.
S A B C D E F.
I'm going E.
Are we ranking it
Going
just
E?
off of the album cover itself?
Just
or
off
the
cover.
album?
Just
Okay.
off of the cover.
Yeah, I'm going E as well.
Yeah, that's an E.
Okay. All right. I'll put that in. I can't for some reason I cannot. I'll make a note of it. For some reason I cannot actually put the albums up for some reason, but Metallica Master of Puppets, I'll bring it up here. So it is a cemetery basically.
Muppets of Puppets?
Puppets.
Muppets.
You're
Muppets. Muppets of Puppets. I just realized I did that.
I don't really like that.
Here
Yeah, I would also give that an E. I don't really care for it personally. It's an E.
This one for me,
it's like a graveyard, and there's
I'll give it a C.
I've never really liked this album cover either.
If we're on it, like that's the thing is like the cover is just a D. If we were talking about the album itself, it would be a lot higher.
Yeah, I'm going D as well. I
Not
agree
good.
100% with you, Darren. Okay, Queen News of the World. This scared the shit out of me when I was younger, dude.
Have you ever seen The Family Guy?
I was just about to say,
dude, that was me with this album cover, dude. This scared me. Like, this is scary.
I hate to say it, Scott. Is that what you were talking about of what you look like without a beard?
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah, it is terrifying.
It's cool though.
I
But
think
I
it's
mean,
cool.
F.
I'm going.
This is the cool thing about it. Is the vinyl when you open it up, there's the other it continues.
Yeah, but that doesn't count in the context of this game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm gonna go with a D.
Okay.
I think it's cool though.
I'm gonna go C.
I think I'm gonna agree with Ryan, and it's an F.
I don't know. I feel like they could have chosen a better road. I'm gonna go C.
Yeah,
You're judging it based on what road it is in England.
I hate the Beatles. F.
What?
You can't know. That's not part of the game.
Okay, I hate.
You
this
don't like the
album
Beatles
cover. I hate this
as a
album cover.
band?
F. Yeah.
Wait, you
Wow.
actually hate the Beatles?
Yeah, I actually hate the
Damn.
Beatles.
I know. I'm legitimately going A. In all honesty,
I'm gonna go.
I'm
A.
going A.
I'm gonna go
going
A.
A.
It's not quite an S for me, but I give it a solid A.
It's so simple, but there's something about it that makes it so cool.
it's iconic. There's a reason it's iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but there's a reason.
It's because Paul has the
He's just got his grippers out. I don't
Yeah.
want no.
I
wanna
like
see
that.
any
That's one of my
grippers.
favorite thing about the
No,
album
F,
is, man.
F.
All right, Dark Side of the Moon.
That's a oh god.
Now
that's
this
a
one's
cool-
an interesting one because it shows a prism, and the prism is actually splitting the light into the different wavelengths that make up different colors. Because with electromagnetic radiation, interestingly enough, you have the white light and it's combined. But
What the? Okay.
F.
basically, I'm gonna go B.
I'm going B too.
F.
Dude, it's iconic. It's iconic, but I'm going with the B. It's a little too simple.
Yeah, I'll go with the B. I'll agree with that.
Okay. I was gonna say, Scott, just because it has a rainbow on it, I know how you feel about that kind of stuff. Don't bring the politics into it, man. Don't bring it into it.
Yes, Scott refuses to even drink milk, let alone think about Harvey Milk.
Next one, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction.
Also, I want to look at what E is.
So this is the this is not the first cover because there's two covers for this album. There's the original one that the record label said no to, and then there's the cross one.
I like this one a lot.
And then the first one later became the alternate one. The alternate one is literally a robot raping a woman. So
I like this one a lot, and it's gonna be tough because I also love the album.
Yeah.
Which I know is not a part of this. This is my E. This is my S. Sorry, this is my S.
Dude, I'm going with this one. I'm going S on this one too.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it when they put the personality of the band on the cover with but it's not them, it's drawings of them, or it's something like representing them. The skulls are just so cool.
Yeah, I love this cover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go A.
Dude,
Can we just
the
end it
last
on
one.
Goblin then?
Goblin? Okay. I don't even know what the album's called, but Goblin album. Here it is. No idea. This is Tyler the
Definitely
Creator.
not Abraham Lincoln.
It's Tyler.
Tyler the Creator Goblin. Okay.
Well, it's really good. I'm gonna give it an
Who
S.
is this? Who is on?
That's Ryan's S.
This is your S, Ryan?
That is 100% my S. That's such a good album
Bro,
cover.
like,
It's so
who
funny.
is it?
It's almost as funny as a spinning tire. Like, that's so.
That's Buffalo Bill at the age of 19.
Wow, there you go.
Why is
That's so
All right, so-
good. Oh my god.
So real quick to wrap this up, I'm going to give you the top 10 album covers as
Okay.
listed by Rolling Stone.
dude, the Velvet Underground, I hate this album.
So that's number
Really?
11.
This
I
is
kinda
not
dig
that's
it.
not a good album cover.
I kind of dig it.
It's
Number
literally
11.
just a painting that they stole.
All right, any
did-
I was
guesses
gonna
for
say it looks like copyright infringement.
Nirvana? Never
Never
mind.
mind.
Oh, the
I-
child sued the band recently.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. he
Yeah.
didn't-
I
he
mean,
didn't
he's not a
win.
child anymore. But...
Yeah, he didn't win though, because he was saying that people were recognizing him
Oh, he
and that it
sued the
was
band in
it was
2021.
damaging because the baby is naked, and it was like, dude, like no one's recognizing you from a baby picture. He lost the suit.
After years
I
of
always thought
celebrating
this
his
was-
associate,
Sorry.
even getting a Nirvana tattoo, he sued the band in 2021, claiming the photograph was
just wanted the
child
money.
pornography.
He wanted, yeah, he wanted.
He wanted
yeah.
the money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not.
I would have
okay.
thought this album cover would have been higher.
All right, number 9, Cyndi Lauper. She's so unusual.
That's iconic.
I
Yeah,
like
I think
it.
it's a good album cover.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good.
All right, number 8. The
Okay,
I don't know.
London-
I've
London
never
needs to be-
seen this one
That
before.
needs to be higher.
Mm.
The Clash London Calling is such a cool album cover.
Oh,
Got the dude smashing the guitar. Are you kidding me?
Oh, is that
number
what it is?
7.
Yeah. What is
Funkadelic.
going on?
I've
there?
never heard of that
What
before.
is going on
What?
there?
I don't know
What is
about
even
that.
happening?
I don't know
What
about
the-
that.
That's an
All right,
odd choice.
Number 6.
Don't know that one.
What?
Patty
Not-
Smith Horses.
No.
This is a pretty bad. Dane, it's the movie list all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
this
Rolling
is a
Stone
terrible
always
list.
puts up terrible.
Did
lists.
Remy make this list?
Yeah. The Notorious
No, it was
B.I.G.
Spoon
Ready to
University.
Die, number 5.
Ready to, is that him as the baby? I'm
is
sure the
so
baby
bad.
has some sort
Maybe
of
it's
name,
a bad list, Ryan.
Maybe it's the same baby from the Nirvana album.
Right.
man.
Number
Pink
4.
Okay, Pink Floyd.
Floyd.
Okay, I can see
Okay.
that.
Yep. We gave it a
Floyd.
C.
We gave it a C, but
Yeah.
at number 4, little high at number 4, but it's just
Kind of like the
Number
band. Kind of like the
3.
band.
what? Okay, man.
I've never heard of this before.
It's just the
Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Number
No.
2,
Ah,
the Beatles.
Wait,
Abbey
no, go
Road.
All
back
right.
to the Sly and the Family Stone one. Go back. Think about the time that the album comes out. 1971. It's called "There's a Riot Going On." You're putting the American
Vietnam.
flag on there. Yeah, and the stars aren't correct. That's I
So
like
probably
this
in the
album.
time period, yeah.
I like that one. Yeah, that one's
But like,
That
what
one's
even
pretty
is
nice.
Sly and the Family Stone? Like,
Sly and the Family Stone is like one
It's
of
a
the
band,
most
right?
important funk bands of all time.
oh, I've
They're
never
probably
heard of
the
them.
most important funk band.
All right, so number 2 is the Beatles Abbey Road.
Well, do they have a national park? I don't think so.
What did any guesses on number 1?
It's gotta be
Maybe
Goblin.
Yeah, it's gonna be Goblin.
maybe Queen, maybe a Queen album cover.
I'm
maybe
thinking
like
I'm
Night at
thinking
the
a Queen
Opera.
I'm thinking a Queen cover.
Yeah,
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody, whatever that album.
A Night at the Opera, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Jimi
I
Hendrix.
like that movie.
Maybe
Oh.
Yellow Submarine.
Oh,
Or
it
The
could be Frank
Doors.
Frank Sinatra, maybe.
Oh, Sergeant Pepper.
Could
I'm
be
gonna
the
say-
Elvis one.
All right, so
Mm.
final guesses. Just the band. I don't even need the name of the album.
I'll
Elvis
go
Presley.
Beatles.
Elvis Presley.
I'm gonna
Darren's
go
Beatles. Okay.
Frank Sinatra.
Mm.
I'm gonna stick with Queen.
Okay.
All right, and the number 1 is
What the
What?
heck is that? What the heck is Joy Division?
I don't
They're
know,
new
but
wave
it's
band.
lagging, so we can't even see the title.
Let me see.
Maybe that is
Okay.
that is it.
Oh, there it is.
What
What
the
the
Okay,
heck?
fuck this, dude.
No!
Fuck Rolling Stone. I hate Rolling
That's
Stone.
so bad.
I-
They're trolling us. They're completely
Yeah.
trolling us here.
I want to see what's 11 and above.
Yeah,
That,
so let's
that might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much for listening to Creators United. We're happy that we were once again able to unite for you to listen to or to watch. Next time, we're going to be talking about the joys of trying to land on Mars and why scientists had so many issues trying to get the rockets to Mars. Until then, though, I'm Ryan/Mags on behalf of Scott and Darren and Dane. Thanks for listening. And Scott, we love you.
We love you.
Love you guys.